As he settles in to get wired up, we'll have a look, Louis, at the OT winner. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. You know what? And we'll get him to break it down when he gets on headset here. But yeah, you know what? Came in with a lot of speed, which I liked. Everybody seemed to be coming in a little slower, trying to pick a spot. The goalies were excellent tonight, but he came in with a little more speed, quick release, and was able to beat Chad Johnson with that shot and get the shootout winner.
And Brandon Sutter with us now. Pleased to have the Canucks hero tonight. We know how to pick our guests.
Yeah, great pick.
Worked out just the way we planned it.
Perfect.
What were you thinking for the better part of the game when it could have been a 1-0 loss and a goal scored by your own team?
Yeah, that would have been a little bit unfortunate, but I always kind of stuck with it.
And would Ryan Miller have taken the loss?
We were laughing about that. He would have taken a goal against with a perfect save percentage.
Yeah.
No, we just stuck with it. I think that shift that Hank and Danny had, where they ended up scoring the goal at the end of the game, was incredible. So I think you get in a shootout, anything can happen, but you don't want to lose games where you only give up one goal. So we found a way.
Louis.
Yeah, you know, and you say you did find a way, and especially after seeing a teammate in his first game as a Canuck give up that goal against the way he did. You guys wanted to rally behind him and make sure that you were putting your best foot forward. But talk a little bit about how difficult. You had a week off before this game.
Yeah.
Talking this morning, obviously you guys were very excited to get this going, but was it difficult to get into this one, having a little bit of time off, knowing they had played 2 games already?
Yeah, it's always, I think just the first game you're always a little nervy for whatever reason. It doesn't matter how many years you play. I think that first game you're always a lot of anticipation and people are excited about it. You end up doing a lot of media stuff, and it all kind of builds up to one game. And now we're playing again tomorrow night, so that's
payback,
all
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Get a little extra time off.
Like you said, when we give up a goal or put one in our own net, you want to get that one back, and we stuck with it and just managed to get it in.
Yep. All right, we can fairly assume that you'd like to forget about last season, as injury-plagued as it was. You had hernia surgery, you came back, suffered a broken jaw after only 4 games, and that was it. So we'll leave it there as far as injuries go.
Perfect.
But that did allow you some time to plan a major event in your life, which was?
Yeah, I got married this summer. It was a pretty fun time. And when you say I planned it, you really mean my wife planned
I was going to
say.
Well,
to help plan it.
And a little help from the wedding planner, but she did most of it. So I helped with a few decisions, but
there you were, you and Giselle married in June.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that was after the ceremony, was it?
This is actually old. This is a couple years ago. But
all right, here's some proper wedding pictures. It looks like it was a perfect day for you and Giselle to wed, and you didn't have to go far to meet your beautiful bride. How long have you known each other?
No, it's kind of funny. That's kind of the story with the school bus there. We met each other in grade 4.
Wow.
We're friends. Her parents have a farm just a mile west of my parents' farm, and grew up knowing each other, never dated or nothing. And then when I was, I think, 22 and she was 21, we ended up getting together, and the rest is history. So it's funny how it works out, but I know we've been pretty happy together. So it's been awesome.
That was a good-looking wedding party.
Yeah.
Quick tweet here. This is from Brad Nolan, I think. You gave up number 21, so Louis Eriksson would have to wear it. So how many goals does Eriksson have to score this season to keep number 21?
Well, I told him 50, but I'll give him a break at 40. So
he's -1 right now.
I was going to say, how much did he pay you?
He's got to score 51 more, but no, I think he just the number is something that meant a lot to him. He's worn it for I think over 700 NHL games. So when he came to me and asked me about it, I just wanted to make sure he was happy. And I only played 20 games with it, so I was able to give it up.
Well, you know what? It was your dad's number, too.
I know.
So that would be pretty difficult to give up. So, a little bit of pride there, too, I'm sure.
We got to get to break here, but before we do, I'm going to throw this in. Growing up, what was your dream?
I guess either be a hockey player or a farmer. That's really all I had in mind.
I'm sorry, but that is the incorrect answer. I have the correct answer from a couple of reliable sources whom I can't name, but it's your parents, Brent and Connie.
Okay.
And collaboration from your Uncle Rich. As a kid, you were infatuated with trailer hitches.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be driving around with Brent, and whenever you saw a truck with a hitch, you'd say to him, "Dad, what could you haul with that, and where could you take it?"
There you go. There's a perfectly shiny one right there.
Is that a
That's a
receiver
2-inch
hitch or
ball
a
on there,
fixed
too, by the way.
Oh, man, this is bad.
So anyway, your first declared dream as a kid was to grow up and become a trailer hitch salesman at Peter Swainson's Southside Plymouth Chrysler.
Oh, that sounds right.
Confirm or deny?
Yeah, okay, I can give him a little bit of that, but for some reason I liked my tractors and my trucks, so I guess I had a way with that. But
all right,
a little bit embarrassed.
So ends our first trailer hitch segment in the history of After Hours. Growing up Sutter is a fascinating topic. Brandon Sutter, number 20 of the Vancouver Canucks, is our guest in After Hours after he scored the shootout winner for the Canucks tonight. By the way, we requested Brandon to be our guest a couple of days ago because we knew we'd do something big tonight. Is there anything else you want to say about trailer hitches?
No, I'll leave it where it is.
I love how you apologize to the referee there, too. And you go, hey, sorry about that. I'm going to go celebrate
I
with
hit
my
him.
teammates
I hit
now.
him pretty hard,
Yeah,
so I felt
took
bad.
him down. But
yeah.
you know what? Listen, you come from one of the most famous families in hockey. You know, your dad and his 5 brothers all played in the National Hockey League. What was that like? And do you know how many times the Sutter name's on the Stanley Cup?
I think 8 of them. I think four for Dwayne, 2 for my dad, and 2 for Daryl coaching.
There you go.
That's my guy. I think that's right. But no, it
you
was
are correct.
Yeah, I am correct. That's right.
It is.
You might have got some flack if you got that one wrong.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Probably the most amazing story as far as families go in any professional sport. How old were you before you realized that you were in such a special family?
I can remember back when my dad played for the Blackhawks and going down to the. Actually, it's a pretty good story. Going down to the game and just as a kid and going to watch my uncle play against my dad. That's kind of when I first started realizing it. And the one time I remember I came down and we were about 5 minutes late for the game, and Uncle Ronnie was playing for I think San Jose at the time. And by the time I got to the game, he was already kicked out for spearing somebody. So ran into him in the hallway, and that was pretty much wrapped it up. But they're pretty special guys, and we're pretty proud of them.
That's a special picture with your grandmother.
Yeah, that's back on the farm.
And all the boys, including your older brother Gary, who didn't pursue hockey, but we're told he was just as good, maybe the best of the bunch. A tweet from Connexus Industries, and I think this guy's name is Cliff Lane. I'm not sure, but it could be. I hope it is. Question is, which uncle was the toughest? I fought Daryl in the Dub, the Western League, in the 70s, and he was no slouch.
Oh, well, I better say my dad. I'll be in trouble. But they're all pretty. They all got a little bit of snarl to them. I think Brian's pretty snarly too. I think he would have been a tough guy to play against. So I'll stick with those 2. But by no means were the fun guys to go in the corners with. I don't think.
The ranch in your family, ranching is in the Sutter blood, and Brent and Connie have a gorgeous piece of property west of Red Deer. Here's a tweet from Gary Prehar. How many cows have you milked in your lifetime?
Well, we don't. We have beef cattle.
I was going to say branding. That must have been involved in branding.
We've had to milk a couple for some calves, but I'll say a couple. But more times than not, they do it themselves.
Didn't start out well for you with wild animals. I'm not sure about livestock, but one day as a kid, you were in your bedroom. You looked out the window to see. Do you know where I'm going with this?
A moose.
Yeah, and what happened?
I was afraid he was going to open the door.
Yeah, you went downstairs.
Yeah, I don't.
Brent and Connie told you what they were, and you ran upstairs and put the covers over your head because you were afraid they were going to come into the house.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to tell, but we're running out of time.
I think that was the first time I've seen a big moose. So
they can be intimidating.
I can't.
All
lie.
right,
This is all true.
Brent Sutter, NHL player, hopeful trailer hitch salesman, and the last of the Great White Hunters, our guest in After Hours, and scored the OT, or I should say the shootout winner tonight. Really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
guys.
Brandon.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.